Hello, everyone. My name is Rhea. Welcome to our Monday movement series with MS Views and News. For chair Pilates, for today's class, you'll need a band, and that might be a band that doesn't have as much stretch to it, so a stationary band or belt, or something that does have some stretch to it. Ideally, something that does have some stretch to it would be great, but not everyone has that. So something that you can find around the house. For example, this is like my bathrobe belt. So you'll start a course on your chair. We're going to bring the band on our lap here and then grab it right outside of your legs. So your feet are about hip distance apart. Then you're going to grab outside of the legs right there on the band. And if you wanted to, you can wrap your hands and then make sure that you are measured out outside of those, outside of your legs there. And I just want to apologize in advance if my voice sounds a little croaky or throaty. I am getting over a sickness, so just a little heads up on that. So you're pressing down into that band there with the arms long, the spine tall, lifting yourself up as tall as you can here. And then as you inhale, lift your heels. As you exhale, lower your heels. So we're just starting to find the rhythm of the breath with our movement. We'll do this for 8 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. So you pushing down into that band onto the thighs gives your heels, your calves, a little bit more resistance to lift up into. So we're just warming up the muscles of your calves and lower legs there and ensuring that we're also moving with the breath. We've got about 5 more. For 4. Remembering that inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. 3 ensures that the exhale out through the mouth gets a bigger contraction through the core. Last 1. Okay, so now lift up your heels, keep them lifted, and as one heel lowers down, lift that heel up, the other heel lowers down. So this is your prancing. So like a horse prancing through a meadow, one heel will lift as the other heel lowers, just alternating from side to side. And we're trying to do this without leaning your body from side to side. And you might think like, oh, of course, like that's not going to happen. I'm just talking about my heels. But sometimes we start to like compensate and think of the heel or maybe the body going off to one side. Just keep yourself nice, steady, and tall. 1 more each way. Got left side and then right side. Okay, now lower both heels down and then holding onto that band where you have it, you're going to lift those arms up however high you can lift. So maybe it's all the way up next to your ears and then all the way back down onto your thighs. So 10 of those. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Now, even though I said 10, we've got 3 more with this breath pattern. Exhaling to lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Try pulling apart your band as much as you can. Try lifting your spine up as much as you can. Now, 1 more time. Hold the band down. Take an inhale here. This time, exhale to lift the band. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 3 more. Resisting the urge to keep resisting the fact that your shoulders are not going to lift, just your arms are lifting. So now we'll lift the arms up, hold that lift here, and then side bend over to one side. You pick whichever side you want, and then lift back up. And then reach over to the other side. Try to keep your head right between your arms. So like one arm isn't going to like push your head over to the side. You're keeping your head right between your arms like a picture frame or like a picture in a frame. And your hips are staying down, anchored into your chair. Last one to the right or your first side. And then last one to your left or your second side. Right, now from there, reach the arms forward, still pulling apart that band as much as you can, and rotate to the right. Inhale, center, and exhale, rotate left. And center. 2 more. One more, each side. Feel those shoulders working to keep those arms lifted and raised up, as well as pulling apart onto that band. Good. And then from there, round your spine forward. Reach the band as far out in front of your toes as you can. As far as you can. And then just relax your belly down onto your thighs. Maybe roll out the shoulders a couple times there. Then push into your feet, roll and stack your spine back up again. One bone, one piece, one segment at a time until you're nice and tall. So I'm going to turn to the side real quick. Okay, so imagine my chair has a back behind it. And so you need that space to like scoot your butt out to the very front edge of your chair, so you have that space to roll back into. Your arms are still out in front of you. Unless they start to feel too tired, you can place them down onto your thighs. Pull that band apart and start to curl the tailbone underneath of you until your upper back touches the back of your chair. Then lift your spine back up nice and tall. Exhale, curl back. Inhale, lift back up. Okay, so if your chair doesn't have a back to it, that's technically even more challenging. So you can totally turn to the side if you're like, no, I don't want the back of my chair to stop me or limit me. So you can turn to the side and go for this deeper C curve if you would like. You got about 7 more, keeping your feet anchored onto the ground, really pressing your heels down as if you've got mud on your shoe that you're trying to slide off of your foot. For 5. That's it. Good. Pull that band apart for 4. You got it. 3 more. We're getting ready to hold that C curve. So whether you're leaning into midair or you're leaning back against your chair, last 2, you're going to hold that next curl backwards. So on that next one, hold, and then lift the arms up. How high you lift just depends again on your own shoulder mobility and lower back down. 5 of those. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. So really challenging the core here. Last 2. And final one. When the arms come forward, so do you. You can place the hands down onto the thighs there and give your shoulders a little bit of a roll back and forth or forward and back. But now left leg or right leg, whichever leg you want to start with, reaches out in front of you. So same thing that we just did. You're going to curl back, stay in that C curve, reaching those arms out in front of you, pulling apart on that band. But now 5 times to lift your arms and your leg and then lower them back down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. It's as if that leg is on a puppet string. So as you lift the arms, 3, the leg lifts with it. 2. And last 1. And that leg goes down, arms come forward, your body comes forward, rest your hands onto your thighs. Give your shoulders another roll back and down or forward and back. Okay, now what goes around comes around. You do one side, you do the other. So from here, my right leg is now long out in front of me. Arms are out in front of me as well. Scoop the tailbone underneath of you, reach the arms forward, pull apart on that band. Take an inhale to lift the arms and the leg, and then exhale, lower back down. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Here's number 3. Last 2. And final 1. Leg goes down, arms come forward, body comes forward. This time roll all the way forward and down for the toes. Maybe give your head a little sway or your body a sway from side to side. Roll it back up nice and tall. All right, so from here, if you did turn to the side, go ahead and turn yourself back forward. So you do have that back of your chair behind you. Scoot your butt back a little bit more. So we're working on a flat back or a hinge back. So think more like Leaning Tower of Pisa here. And so your hands will be, or your band will be resting onto the thighs. You're going to hinge your body back as you're pushing that band down into your thighs until you touch the back of your chair. Now, if it feels like, ooh, that's really far back behind me, come back up to a seated position, scoot your butt back a little bit more, and then hinge back, and then come forward. Okay, as all that's happening, like your arms are working really hard to push down into your thighs. Almost like I think it's called like a cheese wire. Like if you've ever cut cheese before with a wire, like you're going just straight down. That's what you're trying to do with your thighs there with this band. So it's okay if it's rolling on your legs. It has to happen for you to go back and forth. But keep your collarbones wide, your chest open. Let's go for 2 more. Good, now hold the hinge on this last one. From there, reach the arms up. Stay up and lifted. And then from there, you're pulling one arm down and then lifting back up. Okay, the other arm stays long. So there's a lot that's happening here with your long arm. And then that one arm that's bending is trying to pull it down almost like you're going to break the band. Got about 5 more here. And so if you do have a stretchy band, you can go further down. So maybe that band is coming like right in front of the face. Last 2. And final 1. From there, keep that other arm long and pull the secondary arm down. So in this hinge back position, you're not just you are leaning against the chair, but you're like trying not to put all of your weight into that back of the chair. 4 more. For 3. Last 2. Punching that long arm up towards the ceiling. Last 1. Go ahead and reach the arms forward, your body forward, down and over the toes. Take an inhale at the bottom. As you exhale, roll and stack the spine up tall. Okay. So sort of like a jump rope. That jump rope is going behind you, not the chair, but behind your body. Okay, so it's behind your body there. Now you do want it to have have it cut you kind of right underneath of your arms, and ideally the lengths or the tails of the band are the same length here. Just making sure my hair's not caught up into it. Okay, so arms start out long out in front of you. Left arm is going to stay where it is. Right arm rotates to the right. Watch where it goes. Exhale. Inhale, bring it back forward and rotate to the left side. Inhale, back forward. We got 5 each way. Think of like Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune. You're opening up the right side and then looking to the letters on the left side of your body and letting them flip on the board there. 3 more each side. Exhale to rotate. Inhale to come center. Exhale. Last 2. And being mindful that the rotation is coming from your waistline, not your hips, not your legs. So if you do see your legs kind of like swishing from side to side, that's a big no-no. Last 1 to the right. And final 1 to the left. Okay, so keeping those arms out in front of you, you're going to cross them in front of each other, open, and then cross them in the opposite direction. Open, cross, open, cross, open. 8, 7, 5. There we go. You're playing a little game of like patty cake, but you keep missing your hands. 4, 3, working shoulders and chest here. 2, and 1. Woo. Okay, let the band just roll down. Give your arms a little roll back and forth, forward and back. Okay, now right arm is going to go underneath of your chair. So hook your arm under that chair there, and then just lean your body to the left. Let your left arm just hang off to the side. Your ear can come closer towards the shoulder, but it's like your shoulder is trying to run away from your ear. Then lift yourself back up. Left hand under the chair. Lean to the right, ear to the shoulder. And always remembering we never want to like go further than your comfort. So never into anything that feels like pain. Lift yourself back up. So now this time your left hand comes to the right side of your face. Pull it over gently towards the left. Okay, so it's the same stretch, but just a different way to get there. Opening up that right side of your neck to shoulder. Lift yourself back up. Right hand over to the left side of your face. And pull yourself gently into that position. Amazing. Okay. So now from there, right hand goes back underneath of the chair, but look to your left. Lean to your left and look down to the ground. And so now you should be feeling that stretch kind of going down the back right side of your neck. Go ahead and lift back up, turn to your right. Nod the chin down towards your shoulder. Sort of like maybe you're trying to catch a sniff or a whiff of your deodorant. Make sure you put some on. And lift back up. So now doing that same pattern, you'll look towards the left, but this time you actually will get a little sniff. Did you put your deodorant on? Your left hand comes behind the back right side of your skull and then pull it down. So now you feel again that stretch gently, just again, like even if you only have to put like an ounce of pressure on the back of your head to gently stretch the neck there. Lift up, twist around to the other side. Hand comes behind the back left side of your skull and gently pulling you to the right. So stretching and mobilizing any part of the body is important because it brings blood flow to the area. Blood brings oxygen. Oxygen means nutrients and minerals to the muscles, the tissue, all the necessary bits that we're going to be moving or that we have been moving. Go ahead and let go. Good. Give your shoulders a lift up, pull back and down 3 times there. And then go in the opposite direction. All right. Good. So now that band comes back behind you again. So underneath of your armpits, underneath of your arms, reach the arms out in front of you. One arm goes up, one arm goes down. So at the diagonal, and you'll pull them back together and go in the same direction again. One arm down, one arm up, and then back together again. We've got 8 more. Like you got big like symbols and you're trying to clash them together. Verse 6. 5. 4, maybe each hand has a tambourine. 3, getting ready to hold this wide arm position in 2. So now hold here, last one. So the arm that is up, it might be your left arm, but this is my right arm that's up. So I'm going to twist to the right. So whichever arm is up, you twist towards that side and then untwist, bring yourself back towards center. So your whole torso twists. There you go. Yes, so it's not just your head that's looking towards that arm. It's your whole body that rotates you. Think of still pulling the band apart as much as you can. Those arms reaching away for 2 more. And 1 more. Okay, now bring the arms back together. We go 10, up with the other arm, down with the opposite arm, and then back together. Okay, clap your hands for 8, 7, 6. There you go. Trying your best not to just like lean your body to get that arm up. Stay lifted and tall. Use the back muscles to lift your arm as well as reach the opposite arm down. Last one, hold those arms where they are and then rotate your body towards the arm that is lifted and then come back through center. Maybe it's like the like a wash machine, a top load wash machine. Okay. Circling around for 3. Last 2. lifting yourself up as you twist. Last one. Okay, now lower those arms back down. Go ahead and give your shoulders another little shrug. So these movements, like with the arms and especially with the band, when you're holding onto something, you never really realize like how much your shoulders and your back are really working there with you. All right, so if you do have a chair, I think most of us do, that have a back to it, the band is now going behind that chair. If you don't, then it'll stay behind your body. Okay, so with it behind the chair, okay, you don't want it to like obviously come off of the top of the chair, but you want it still high enough that it's not going to be like down here, but at your hips. Keep your feet planted, and you want to start with your arms as long as the band is. So from this position, I'm almost touching the back of my chair. Okay, so if you need to touch the back of your chair, that's fine. But this is kind of like a push-up here. So what you're going to do with your body moves forward as you bend your arms. So lean forward into it and then push yourself away as those arms go long. And then pull your body forward, bend the elbows, and then push yourself away for 9 and pull yourself forward. That's it. Yeah, get it behind your chair. So we're trying to keep as much tension or just tension in your band at all times. So you might have to choke up on your band a little bit if you need to. 6, 5. This is still strength through the back, the chest, but also now the abs. So leaning your body forward for 4, and then pulling yourself back up. 3. Ensures that everything from head to hips is working in alignment. 2. And final, 1. Okay, lower that band down. You can take it out from behind the chair. We really just needed it for that one single movement. Start to scoot yourself forward towards the front edge of your chair. And with that band, you're going to hook it underneath of your legs there to create, you don't have to tie it, but you can tie it if you want to. If your hands are starting to get a little tired here, you can totally make a little present bow for yourself. So I'm going to tie it. I'm going to do a little crisscross applesauce, a little bow tie there. All right, so that means now my legs have some tension. If you don't want to tie the band, you're holding on to it to create and maintain that tension. So from here, you can lean yourself back or scoot yourself back against the back of your chair, or you staying lifted means that your posture is being held up by your core more. Your hands hold underneath of the chair, okay, and try to pull your shoulders down the back. From here, straighten your right leg out in front of you as you are pulling into that band as much as possible. Exhale to straighten that leg and then pull it back down. Inhale. Six more. Meanwhile, the left leg is working just as hard to push into that band. Okay, so if my right leg was winning out, like this would be happening right now. Okay, so both legs are working really strongly against each other. 4. And then I'm also ensuring that like I'm not slouching just to get that leg up, like pulling those shoulders back, lifting your head tall. 2. Nice. Now last 1. Okay, so this is not going to look like much is going on if you do have a stationary band like I do, but what's going to happen is my right leg is doing its best to pull apart as my left leg is doing its best to stay still. So if my right leg was winning, it would look like this. Okay, but we're doing this 8 more times of right leg pulling out as much as possible without moving because that left leg is working just as hard. Now, if you're holding onto the band, you're creating that tension. So if it feels too tight, you loosen up on the band. Got about 4 more. Like I said, like it probably doesn't look like much, but you're creating that tension on the outside of the thighs and the hips. Last 2. And final 1. Now keep the right leg anchored into the ground, pushing against that band as your left leg straightens and then bends back down to the ground. Straighten and bend. Exhale. Inhale. Resisting the urge to do anything else with the body. So it's like everything is just like frozen as a statue. It's just that leg that's kicking free. For 6, 5. That's when it starts to get pretty challenging. 4, because most of the time we kind of want to lean back into it. 3, 2, and 1. Now your left foot is planted and it's trying to pull out into that band without anything else moving. And it might feel like maybe your right leg is also trying to pull out as much as possible, but the emphasis is on the left. You got 6, 5, 4, 3, awesome, 2, and final 1. Now I'm just going to turn to the side for demonstration purposes, but you are holding onto the front edge of your chair and then curling your spine back so that you are leaning against the back edge of your chair there. Okay. From there, lift up your heels and then choose which side you want to pull up against to lift up into that band tension, just to get up off of the ground. And continue alternating. So one leg comes up, put it back down. The other leg comes up, put it back down. If you need to scoot yourself back or push against your chair a little bit more, go for it so that you have as much support as you need. Okay, but your hands either on the front or you can go on the side as well, underneath of that chair, or you can even push down onto the chair, whatever again helps you to feel supported here. Because the next move, one more each side, is going to be to try to lift both legs up. So this is probably going to feel like with your hands pushing down onto the chair is going to feel more supportive. Okay, so I'm going to wiggle my butt forward a little bit more so there's more of my counterweight to lift the legs up. Okay, so my hands are pressing into the chair, my heels are lifted from the deep core. There you go. Lift the legs up and keep pulling out against your band. Like you're trying to pull yourself into a tiny little ball position and then lower back down. Just 2 more, 5 total. And 1 more. Perfect. Put the feet down, bring your body forward. Go ahead and untie your present. Take the tail ends into your hand and step just the right foot onto the band. Okay, so I've got just the right foot on the middle of the band there. So if your hands or your wrists or your fingertips are feeling, pretty shot from the first half of class, what I recommend is a very loose, so you're not trying to like cut off any circulation, but a very loose bind so that you can hold on without it actually like gripping too much. So very loose bind there around your hands. So you're starting in a bent arm position there with your legs. Okay, so that when your leg starts to straighten out, it doesn't affect the arm position at all. You're going to bend the leg and then straighten it out. Okay, but when you bend the leg, don't put it back down onto the ground. So you have to hold your leg up in this bent arm position. So this is a bicep curl hold, an isometric hold here. You got 6 more. For 5, like really think of like pushing your foot into that band. For 4, 3, last 2, and now hold the leg long, last 1. Take the leg off to the side and then bring it back center. So still really pulling those shoulders back and down. Think of this like as a row. So your arms have just pulled back into a very strong row and that leg is just steering the boat. 5 more. Keep pushing into that strap. 3, as if your leg bone is trying to get out of your hip. 2, and last 1. Go ahead and bring it center, lower that foot back down, and then take that right foot off the band to switch over to the left side. Okay. Remember that you are holding elbows in by your side, shoulders are rolled down the back. Okay, you've got a firm grip, but it's not cutting off any circulation in your hands. To then lift that left foot off of the ground and then straighten it out for 10. Bend and straighten for 9. So this is also still working through the core because you are working to not like lean off to the side. Just get that leg out in front of you, but instead to stay lifted and tall for 5, 4, 3, last 2. And now hold that leg long, last 1, and steer it off to the side and bring it back center. 9. Keep those elbows right by your side. Almost like you're trying to tuck the elbows down into your hip pockets. For 6. Reach that heel as far away from you as you can. 5, 4. Nice job there, you guys. For 3, 2. Lift up nice and tall. Final 1. And when you bend the knee to bring the foot down, go ahead and release that band back out from underneath. But now both feet will come onto the band. Okay. Scoot yourself all the way back up against your chair so that a majority of your leg, like basically everything from your hips as far to your knees as you can, are on the chair. Okay. So from here, pushing yourself up against that chair, you're going to pick up your feet. So they're just kind of like in a swing here on that band, and they're going to come together. So let the feet come together in that band and then stretch those legs out in front of you and then lower them back down. Okay. We're going to do 5 of these. So push those heels away from you for 3 more. There you go, getting that straightening of the legs. And believe it or not, this is also a hamstring stretch. I don't know if you can feel it yet. Last 2. Okay, now last 1. From here, your elbows go out wide, turn the palms down, and then curl your chin towards your chest and bring your head as close to the knees as you can. Then from there, push your arms out long by your side and then stack the spine up tall. Okay, you start from the bottom, lower the feet down, bend the elbows, palms up, and then we are back to the start. So pull those feet off the ground, stretch the arms long, elbows go wide, palms down, nod the chin towards the chest, curl the spine like a candy cane. So like the legs stay long, but your spine is curling. Now straighten your arms, keep the band taut, and then stack the spine tall. Good. Like our version of what's called rowing back in Pilates. Okay, so think of like a rower. Okay, so they're gonna, not the rowers actually straighten their legs, but you're gonna pull yourself forward. Okay, straighten those arms, lift your spine, bend the knees, and bring your hands back to your start position. Palms up, elbows in. Straighten the legs. Lift the elbows, palms down, round the spine, straighten the arms, then stack the spine tall as the legs lower and your palms turn up. One more time. Straighten the legs first, round this, lift the elbows next, then round the spine, then straighten the arms, and then straighten your spine, bend the knees, and come back to your start position. Awesome. All right. So your right foot is back into the band. You're going to stay where you are with your butt though, but the right foot, you're going to hook it around so you've got a nice little loop there on your foot. Okay. So that band's not going anywhere. Your foot's not going anywhere. Readjust, make sure I've got a good grip there with my hands. Okay. All right. From there, straighten that right leg, hold it straight, and then it is a row. So your palms are down, your thumbs are in, and depending again on leg tension or arm strength, you're going to pull back into a row, lift your leg as high as you can, okay, so that you can feel a deeper stretch, and then lower the leg down until your arms are long. Okay, bend the elbows, pull the arms back, lower the leg, straighten the arms. We'll do 4 more. Get into that really big stretch for 3. Last 2. And final 1. Okay, now you're going to take both bands into your right hand. And so the way that will work best for everyone is if you take, so you're holding onto it with your left hand, your right hand is going to go underneath of the band so that you can hook your hand into the band there and then grab the tail end of it. So you've got a nice little wrist lock. Okay, everyone get that? So right hand goes under, grab with an open palm, and then hook the tail end. So you've got it into, you got the tail end and the band into your right hand. Okay. All right. So right leg goes long. Open it off towards the right side. Now this time we go way further than you did before. And then, or close it after you've opened it. Your left hand can hook underneath of the chair so that you're not going to lean over to one side. You're going to stay nice and tall where you're at. We go for 4 more. This is a really good inner thigh stretch for 3. 2, keep pulling your toes back towards you, your heel pushing away from you. And last 1, leave the leg off to the side, put it down off to the side, and go ahead and just let the band stay there. Your right arm comes down to that right leg as your left arm comes up overhead. Just take a nice side body stretch. Nice job there, you guys. Back up, we'll do that 3 times, just over to the right side. If you'd like to go down further, your right arm can go down to the inside of your leg as your left arm reaches up and over. And then come on up. Okay, but or you can just always stay elbow to thigh. And if you would like to take it further, go to the inside of that thigh. Okay, while you're down there, you can grab down for that band, take it off of the right foot, and let's get ready to do it on the other side. So foot steps on the band first. Okay, give it a little lasso around. Both tail ends into your hands here. Start first with your leg out in front of you. And this is that stretch, okay? So 6 times, your arms are out long, your leg is long, and then you're gonna bend your arms to lift your leg up. And then lower back down. As you're pulling back, push the heel as much as you can into the band, even though the heel, of course, is not the one in the band, but like your heel is pushing as far away from you as you can. Now imagine if you had to do this without a band. Like, would you be able to lift your leg up this high? Most people might say, like, absolutely not. But how would you be able to? Like, if you could? A lot of it would be core, like really deep core muscles along with the leg. 2 more times. And 1 more time. So try to feel that. When you lift that leg up, can you feel the core? Could you hold this leg there if you needed to? And then lower it back down. Go ahead and let it rest for a moment and take that same lock that you did before. So now my right hand is holding onto the band, left hand goes under it to open hand grab it, and then put the other tail end onto the hand. Okay, from there, 6 times to straighten that leg out and open it as far to the left side as you can, and then bring it out in front of you. 5, 4. Doing your best to keep those toes up to the ceiling. Sometimes the toes turn out to the side, so keep that flexed foot turned up for 3. Holding it off to the side in 2. All right, so now last one, hold it off to the left side, put it down, let go of the band, left hand to the left thigh, Right arm, oh, feels so good, reaches up overhead. And then you come back up. So if you would like more of a stretch, your whole arm goes to the inside of your leg, reaching up overhead and then coming back up. Okay. And then you choose the last one. Which one felt better for you? Never hiding away your face. Then come back up, bring the band with you. Nice job there, you guys. Okay. So let's work a little bit more through the obliques now. So with the band back into your hands, your feet are planted hip distance apart onto the ground. And I've created like a little, I've wrapped my hands here, but not too tightly, reaching out in front of me, sitting up nice and tall. Rotate first to the right for 3. Just to the right. Inhale forward. Exhale to the right. 2. And then we stay to the right, last one. From there, round the spine so the band comes down to the outside of your right leg, and then lift yourself back up for 3. Stay twisted to the right, curl down, 2. And then last one. Okay, now you stay where you are with your body, but now can you lift your right leg up and put it back down for 3? Yep, just pull it all the way off of the ground. 2. And 1. Okay, so now it's like we're adding those 2 moves together. I'm going to turn to the side so you can kind of see what's happening. So as the leg comes up, your body curls down. And then you lift back up, plant the foot down. Curl to lift. Lift to uncurl. We go for 4 more, 6 total. 3. 2. Think of your ribs coming closer to the hip. And last, 1. Okay, good. Untwist yourself. And now rotate to the left. Oh, this just feels weird because now it's just like you're untwisting yourself. 3 times there. 2. Remember, if your arms are starting to get a little tired, just lower them down a little lower. Last one. Okay, now curl down 3 times to your left and lift back up. Curl 2. And final one. Now stay where you are, up into that lifted position to the left, and lift your left leg for 3, 2. Yeah, and 1. So now we add the band and the leg together. So the band goes down, the leg comes up for 6 total. A little oblique crunch for 5. Notice which side feels a little more challenging for 4. And this is definitely my more challenged side. For 3. So if you do notice that one side is more challenging, like maybe do a couple extra reps. 2 and 1. Okay, come back through center, round down to kind of reset everything. Reach for the toes. And I'm even going to lift up my toes so that I can put the band underneath of them and kind of pull on the band. Give my body a little side-to-side action to stretch out the back in between the shoulders. Oh, yeah. Okay, then if you did take that bind underneath of the toes, go ahead and release the band from under your feet. Stack the spine up tall. Pull the shoulders up, back, and down a couple times. Nice. Okay, so now reach the arms up overhead. Now, overhead might mean or look something different for you. So whatever overhead is for you, just make sure that your shoulders are not hiding your ears, your neck away. Soften the shoulders down, lift the head, keep the neck long, keep the ribs wrapped in. As you side bend to the right, just like we did at the beginning of the class to warm up the body. And then we go to the left. And then lift back up. 2 more each side. Each inhale lifts you a little taller. 1 more to the right. Okay, now 1 more to the left. All right, so now from here, it's going to be not as much of a side bend, so just a little bit, and then add your rotation to the right. untwist first, and then come back up. Side bend left, rotate left, untwist first, and then come back up. 2 more each side. Side bend, rotate, ooh, untwist, and then come back up. If reaching the arms up is a little challenging, just reach the arms out in front of you. You can still side bend here, and you can still twist. There you go. Last one, to the right. Rotate, untwist, and come back up. Last one, left, side bend, rotate. That's the hardest part. And then untwist, and then come back up. Lower those arms down again. Give those shoulders a little bit of a rotation. Slow them down, roll them around. Alrighty. From here, band comes in front of your shins. And then with your elbows starting off in a bent arm position. I don't know if you can see that right clearly, but band, arms are starting, holding onto the band with your arms bent. So what's going to happen is my body goes forward as my arms straighten. Then pick your body back up into that straight line to bend your arms. So kicking back into the triceps to lean your body forward and then lift your body back up. Exhale, forward, leaning into it like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Exhale, keep those feet planted. Okay, and it's like you're trying to break that band with how far those arms are reaching back behind you for 5. 4, pull the shoulders back, chest stays open. Last 3. 2 more. And final 1. Oh my gosh. Okay, we did it. Woo. Now to stretch out those triceps, you're going to raise your right arm up, bring the band behind you, and then find it again behind you with your left arm. Okay, so now from there, your left arm, once it's got the band, is going to straighten that left arm so that your right arm starts to bend. And if you already start to feel that stretch, stay there, but I don't yet. So I'm going to walk my left hand up a little higher and then pull it down a little bit more so that that right arm, right on the back side of the arm there, the triceps, gets a nice stretch. Okay, make sure that your head isn't being pulled forward. If anything, pull your head backwards into, there you go, either the band or the arm. Okay, now let go of your left hand first. Okay, and then bring that band around. Your left hand now reaches up towards the ceiling with the band behind you. Your right hand grabs behind you underneath. Where's the band? There it is. Now start to straighten your right arm. And so you're just slowly cranking that left arm into that stretch there. Nice job, there you guys. Now, while you're here in this position, can you keep your ribs pulled in? Spine nice and tall. Shoulders soft. Even the face is soft. Gently let go of your right hand first. Then take that band off out in front of you. Okay, give your shoulders one last little roll around, and that band can actually go off to the side. Now you're going to take your left foot, your ankle, over to your right thigh, coming into an external rotation here. Your elbow can press onto the knee and lean your body forward like you're leaning in for a really good story. You're like, what did they say next? Okay, so you're leaning forward. And keep your left toes pulled up towards you. So it's called a flex foot position or like a flat foot. And that just helps to protect the joints or the muscles around the joint in the knee space there. Perfect. Okay, as we're ending the class here, always continue to deep breath. Your left leg will come down off to the left side of your chair and your body, and then bring it down and inward into an internal rotation. Okay, so some of us might feel a stretch here, some of us might not, but to make it more intense here, you can rotate so the top of your foot is pressing down onto the ground. And ideally, like what we're trying to find is, again, the internal rotators of the muscles are really tiny, but they're very deep. So this is a very important pose or stretch here to counteract what we just did, the external rotation. Okay, so just turning that knee inward to help to rotate at the hip there. Okay, you're going to leave your leg there, but start to heel toe your right foot away from you. So now you're turning your body towards the right. So now the back of your chair, if you have one, is to the right of your body. Okay, you might have to like finagle your way there, but it's basically like a supported lunge position. So if you were to tuck your back toes and like lift yourself up, there you'd be in a lunge. Okay, we're not going to do that though. Keep the back toes tucked, the top of your foot nice and flat, and lift your left arm up, holding onto the back of your chair on the right side. Reach your body over the back of the chair on the right side. Sink your left knee down to the ground if it's not already touching. And it might not touch, but that's where you're going. You're trying to reach it down, 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 down as much as possible. Now lift your body back up, inhale. And do that 2 more times. Exhale over to the right side. Now, if the back of your chair is a little high, you can totally bring your right hand down to the seat of the chair to keep it out of the shoulder. Beautiful. Okay, so come back up. Your left leg, the one that's behind you, scooches forward, and then turn your body towards the front of your chair now. Okay, right ankle into that external rotation or piriformis stretch. So ankle onto the thigh, flexed foot position, toes to the knee, and then elbow onto the knee if you would like to take it that much further. Hinge your body forward, deep breaths. Remember the oxygenation, the nutrients, the minerals all come into the body. Remembering that the stretch component of a class is just as important as the movement. After we did all of these movements here, it's always necessary and healthy for you to like stretch out that tissue, make sure that more blood flow can get into the area. Your right leg goes off to the right side of your chair, of your body, to then twist that knee. So it's like the whole leg comes down and in, internal rotation. Okay, so if you want more, the top of your foot is now resting down to the ground, and you're really, it's like you're trying to tuck that knee underneath of you. As that's happening, your tailbone is trying to scoop underneath of you. You're lifting your spine up tall, holding the pose, but never the breath. And then when you're ready, start to heel toe that left foot off to the left side. You might have to kind of wiggle your right leg back behind you, but either holding onto the back of your chair or to the bottom of your chair with your left hand. Your right arm reaches up on the inhale. And you lean over to the left on the exhale. Inhale to lift your body back up. 3 of those deep breaths, reaching the right knee down as your right arm reaches up. Oh, feels so good. 1 more inhale. Now, as you're reaching up and over, make sure that it's the space between your ribs and your hips that are pulling apart, not just your shoulder coming up by your ear. That's really easy to do. But really, we're looking for that waistline to open up there. Turn yourself back towards the front side of your chair. Okay, now open both legs out as wide as you can with your hands turned, fingers down, okay, and your palms onto your thighs. Lean forward again like you're leaning in for a good story, but rotate to one side as you push the opposite knee away from you. So this is my right side. I'm pushing my left knee away from me. Then lift your body back up and then push your right knee as you rotate towards the left, or you just go the opposite direction. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. 1 more each side. Perfect. All right. So now we come back up nice and tall. All I'm going to do is twist myself towards the right side. So like the corner edge of my chair is right between my legs so that the left leg can go out in front of, well, it's not in front of me, but to the left of me, to the front of my chair. Okay. So now my right arm is going to come down onto the thigh, and then my left arm is going to reach down for that right foot. Okay. Now, if it cannot touch the ground, then, you can put your left arm onto your thigh as a modification, but let me show you the full move first. So left hand to the ground, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Okay, so if that's not accessible, bring yourself back up to put your left arm onto your right thigh and then to reach up towards the ceiling. Okay, another modification, left arm is onto your thigh, your right hand is on the back of your chair to rotate yourself and look up towards the ceiling. All are great options because all might be, one might be where your body is for today. When you're ready, come back up, sit up nice and tall, but now twist your torso towards that left leg. Reach your arms down, tuck the chin towards the chest, and reach for your toes. And you're not going down to the ground, but you're reaching in that general direction. If you go too far, you probably like tip forward and you don't want to fall out of your chair. And then stack the spine on your inhale. And then reach forward and over. Okay, it's like there's an invisible force that's actually preventing you from going any further past your knee. But then you're still like, oh, but I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. So that you can feel that stretch. Inhale, lift up one more time. We're trying to feel that stretch down the back right side of your body. One more time, towards that left leg. Oh, feels so good. And then lift back up. Okay, so we don't have to turn our body to the other side. All we're going to do is bend your left leg and stretch your right leg. So remember your options. Your left arm comes down to your left leg first. Okay, to kind of give yourself that sense of support to place your right hand to the ground and then to lift your left arm towards the ceiling. Yeah, good. Okay, bring yourself back up to your start position and then go for it again if you were able to do that. Otherwise, the modifications are the right hand to left thigh, left arm to the ceiling. And if you're still not quite there and you're like, I don't know, what should I do? Put your hand onto the chair and rotate to look up towards the ceiling. And then come back through center. Okay. Turn your torso towards the long leg, towards your right leg. There's an invisible force field that's not letting you go any further past your knee with your arms. Okay, but there's something that's also pulling your belly button back, pulling your rib cage back, and then stacking your spine back up nice and tall. Now let's make sure when you're doing this that you're not like lifting your shoulders up by your ears. So keep the shoulders soft. And then lift back up. And one more time to reach forward, drawing your abs in, curling your spine more. Oh, feels so good. Okay, then lift back up. Ah, all right. Turn towards the front of your chair. Reach your hands for the back of your chair. And then open your chest, lift your gaze. Widen the collarbones. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, nod the chin towards the chest, round the shoulders forward, curl the spine more. Stay for the inhale. And final exhale. Slowly lift your spine up, letting go of the back of the chair. And give yourself a round of applause, you guys. That was it for today. That is our time together. So thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed the class, and I will see you guys again in about a month, okay? Until then, I will see you guys next time.